I'm here on a freezing day on a farm outside Bath to meet Mark Boyle. He's the no money man. For the past year he's been living here in a caravan without spending a single penny, and I want to find out how he's done it. So tell me first, what prompted you to start this experiment?
I think it probably began really around 2007. I'd done a degree in economics back in Ireland, and in the fourth year of that degree I came across a DVD called Gandhi. I had no idea at the time what impact it would have on my life, but one of the things he said was, be the change you want to see in the world.
Dirty hands, Mark. What do you do about keeping clean?
Well, keeping clean, obviously in the summer it's much easier because I've got a solar shower for starting it. You know, you stick it out, it's basically a black bag.
It's a what? A black bag?
Black bag, yeah, with a tube at the end, and if you leave it out all day in the summer, it attracts the heat and warms up to, it can get as warm as 22, 23 degrees.
Very pleasant.
Which is quite pleasant in the summer, but not so pleasant in the winter.
When it's
actually frozen, the water's actually frozen in it, so it's not very useful at this time of year. For toothpaste, I use cuttlefish bone. You just grind out this using a cutthroat razor, some wild fennel seeds, and a toothbrush which I found in a skip along with 69 others. So I'm actually just going to get some, I've got a solar panel and just got to wipe some of the snow off it, ironically.
It's not going to work today, is it?
It's not going to be brilliant.
Is that so? How did you get hold of that then, that solar panel?
So yeah, before I started my year, it was the one thing that I actually spent money on. Just because, you know, I can't make one myself. You can't make solar panels, unfortunately, from nettles and rose hips.
You set out to do a year.
Set to a year originally. It's about 14 months now. About 16 months ago, I sat down and went, you know, how's this going to work? So I made a list basically of everything that I currently consumed back then, all the things that made my life what it was. And I started making lists of, right, what skills am I going to need to learn to be able to do this in the future, and how am I going to find a new way of doing this?
Talk me through the principle of the rocket stove then.
So the rocket stove is, this one's made from 2 old olive catering tins. You basically put one on top of the other, you put a bended flue pipe up the middle, you then put your pan on top, like that. Like this is old veg boxes that I've broken up here.
Right. Stick
them in here. You light these, it shoots a flame up here and heats the pan. I find lighters are like pens in this society. It's the one thing you can find anywhere.
And are there things that you had to pull yourself up short and say, oh, how am I going to do that? What, you know, that you've been confronted with problems that you've had to resolve since you started?
This year I've just gone for 3 old pallets nailed together. Put a bit of a bender type thing on top with a canvas, and I then dig a hole in the ground. The beauty of the hole in the ground thing is you just take out some soil, and then to keep rats and mice and stuff away, you put the soil back on top, and it decomposes naturally. For toilet roll, I use newspaper.
Oh, that's nice.
Obviously,
Where does that come from?
Wouldn't use the Guardian. It's great for reading, but the texture isn't so good for your bum.
What's your newspaper of choice?
The Daily Mail. I find it's got to be useful for something. Once you've got your essentials met, like food and shelter, everything else really is a bonus then. So if things come up where I thought it was going to be really difficult, I just made a decision whether is it worth the effort and the hassle, or is it easier just to sit in my ass and read a book and not bother doing it. So for books you can do things like go to websites like readitswapit.co.uk, go to your local library, or organise book swapping evenings where people who've got books they don't want anymore bring along books and swap them for books they do want.
Was there not ever a moment where you just thought, oh my God, no, I can't do this anymore?
I think at the very beginning, in the first 6 weeks, because it was quite challenging, and I had to establish whole new routines, and everything took much longer. You know, like every single thing I was doing just took so much longer.
Like cooking your food, or
and washing clothes, and getting into Bristol instead of being like, you know, half an hour in the bus. It was like it's an hour and a half each way on a bike. With this, for the wheels, for the tyres, I've got punctureless tyres, so I can never get punctures, and they've got no air. For my light, it's got a dynamo, so I produce my own electricity. And for transporting stuff that I need, like wood and boxes and things I find in skips, I've got a bike trailer.
So where are we going now?
We're going to our first skip for the night, just in North Bristol. We're going to see, it's always hit and miss, so we're hoping this is usually quite a good place to get some really good food. It's an organic skip.
Big sack of oats.
That's for your porridge.
That's my porridge, from a kilo of porridge every day. I'll have that. To be honest, that's just mainly packaging, man.
Oh, really?
Is it?
Yeah.
Comes my way. What's that? German, look. How many? Sprouts. Grapes.
Special delivery, folks.
Delivery pizza?
What's the actual legal position on this? Who does this stuff belong to legally?
Just legally, even though it's in a bin, still belongs to the company who owns the bin, which is, I've yet to know of anybody in the UK who's actually been prosecuted, because none of the supermarkets want the issue to be raised. It would open a whole can of worms for them regarding waste and how much to waste. So there's never really an issue around it. It's just, but from a technical aspect, it is still their property.
Technically it's theirs, but
Yeah,
nobody
even though
really
it's in a
minds
bin.
if you take it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you want that?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yogurt.
There's some more kids.
The bin I'm looking at here is absolutely full of really good food, but we've already got tons of some of the stuff, like the carrots and the meat that's in here, so we're going to leave it for other people who come along and skip. These carrots, if you look inside the bag, the carrots are actually perfectly fine, but because the package says it's out of date, they've got to chuck it. And this is symbolic of the whole system. Is the workers in the supermarket are completely disempowered to make a decision on these. And your normal greengrocers on the corner of your street, the greengrocer will look at these, go, these have got 2 more weeks left in them, or a week left in them, and make a decision based on the quality of the product, not on what a date says. And this shows the insanity of this current system we live in.
Economically, it's just insane.
Yeah. It doesn't make sense from any perspective, economically or ecologically. It should be socially unacceptable now. Like 10 years ago, if you didn't recycle, that was socially unacceptable. We need to get to the same stage with food. We need to start thinking about, like, it's not okay to put stuff in bins anymore. We need to really reassess how we treat food and how we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Definitely not taking tomatoes home. I've got them out.
I'll take some tomatoes.
I have some tomatoes. I've got some in here.